Hong Kong, the center for business
in Asia.
Formula E Season 3.
We're here to do business.
But who's your money on?
We will fight on the streets.
But who will be the fastest?
Am I the good guy?
Good guy
Or the bad guy?
The hunter
Or the hunted?
Will I be the winner?
Will I be the winner?
Will I be the winner?
Will I be the winner? Will I be the champion?
Will I be the champion? Will I be the champion? Again. It's my time.
My time.
It's my time. It's my time.
A new city, a new season, a new lineup, a new era. This is Hong Kong. This is Formula E Street Racing. Coming up, we introduce you to some of the driving forces behind the sport.
In Formula E, you can have plans, but it never happened the way you think.
We look at why Hong Kong is proving such a pioneer in the electric revolution. And we bring you the best of the action from the Formula E Season 3 curtain raiser.
And they almost all made it.
Welcome to a brand new show for a brand new Formula E season, now entering its third year. Throughout the course of this series, we'll be guiding you through what makes this championship so special and so unique. But for those of you new to the sport, don't worry, we came prepared. Here's a basic guide of everything you need to know. Formula E is a completely new generation of motorsport, and here are the fundamentals. The championship takes place in iconic cities around the world, from the streets of New York to picturesque Paris, the glamour of Monaco, and plenty more.
To race in these areas is really fantastic.
There are so many locations now that I think the championship is just getting better and better.
Looking forward to go to Montreal and New York and going back to Monaco. Let's discover straight away Hong Kong, how it's going to feel like. Let's go, yeah?
All the races on the calendar are just outstanding. This kind of stuff never happened before.
It's in cities, and that means all the racing will take place on the streets.
So far we've had incredible races in straight track, and that's very important. It's special because you kind of feel even more adrenaline.
We go to brand new cities that never hosted a race at all, and we show great racing. I've never experienced the atmosphere in a championship like this before.
Racing on street circuits is the ultimate challenge for a driver. You need to be confident with the car, you need to be confident with yourself.
You make a mistake, you're in the wall.
For sure that earlier you start to push, the quicker you get to your limit, and there is also a bigger risk of hitting the wall and compromising your whole weekend.
The cars are fully electric, so instead of having an engine, they have batteries.
The speed of development that we've seen in Season 2 was incredible. And there is that adage that the racing car of today is the street car of tomorrow. I think we're seeing that with Formula E.
Formula E is the only series that offers this kind of racing and this kind of technology.
Formula E's mission is to drive forward electric technology from the racetrack to the road.
Racing is the perfect environment to develop this type of technology because you just have to take technology to the edge.
Formula E, the electric street racing championship with technology at its core. As for where the cars will be racing, this season Formula E will be adding to its iconic city circuits. And there'll be a few new stops along the way, from Marrakech to Brussels, Montreal and New York City. But of all of them, Hong Kong provides the perfect stage to ignite the campaign, because down there are literally thousands of electric vehicles, or EVs, already being used every day. It really is a city getting fully charged.
Hong Kong, the fourth most densely populated territory in the world, and with 7.2 million people, pollution is a real issue as well. Over 30% of the year, the visibility can be down to less than 8 kilometres. It's also an incredibly rich territory, and that means supercars on the road, but there's a growing, young, emerging scene for a very different type of supercar. And that's why I'm meeting Christy from Charged Hong Kong to talk about EVs. So let's talk Charged Hong Kong, your club. What made you realise that there was an appetite in Hong Kong to have an electric car club?
We saw the adoption of electric vehicles in Hong Kong to be quite high, but the infrastructure just simply wasn't catching up. And so we thought it would be an easier idea to start an organization that basically lobbied the use of it. So obviously the easier it is to use an electric car, the more people are going to use it.
What are the government doing to kind of encourage a move away from polluting petrol burning and diesel burning cars?
He's got a whole fund for electric vehicles. So he's using part of that money to build more infrastructure like charging stations at public car parks, and also partner up with a lot of different management like at shopping centers to set up 32A charging spots as well. So that would take a little longer than a supercharge that Tesla offers, but then again, if you go for a movie, if you go for a dinner, you come back, your car is ready to go. It's probably charged up about 100 kilometers. Also, the government has pushed tax down to 0. That has helped definitely with the pricing of cars.
We've talked a lot about being kind of serious stats, but it's cool to own a Tesla, right? Cool
Definitely.
To have an electric car.
I mean, like, just at the red lights, when you know it turns green, you're gonna be the first one out.
Even though it's fast becoming a much friendlier city to drive around in, I have a sneaky suspicion it won't be anything like that on the track. Yes, once again, Formula E will see sparks fly as new drivers lock horns with the hardened veterans. So here are a few of the faces to look out for. Switzerland's Sebastian Buemi defends his and the team title as he leads the attack for Renault Edam. Looking for revenge in the apt, Lucas de Grassi, the Brazilian ending last season on a collision course with his rival.
Oh, he hit it! I don't believe it! What the he did?
Alongside racing veteran Nick Heidfeld at Mahindra, Felix Rosenqvist, the 2015 European F3 winner, makes his Formula E debut. And living up to the legendary family name, Season 1 champ Nelson Piquet Jr. looking to repeat that feat with Next EV. We'll have more team news later on in the show, but this is where all the action happens, right in the heart of the city. And to give you an idea of what the drivers are facing, here's a guide to the track. The HKT Hong Kong E-Prix will see the electric cars flash around the central harbour front on a track 1.9 kilometres in length and featuring 10 turns.
Okay, so we know where the Hong Kong track goes. Let's find out from Loic what it's like to drive.
The main straight line, start-finish line, a little bit bumpy with a small left-hander, hard braking for turn 1. So that was turn 1, first hairpin. It's going to be really tight. Here's the longer straight. We're going to end up at a little bit more than 200 kph here for hard braking. A nice opportunity to overtake, a little bit downhill, here, and off bank on the left-hand side. Exit. Hard on power, fast chicane, you go over the bumps. Here the right-hander going into the slowest corner of the track. Really tight hairpin here in the middle. You have to switch both hands on the steering. First, let's call it medium speed corner under the bridge. Really fun, little bit downhill. Second left corner in a row. This is a really good place, for us. It's really good fun to drive over there. Before last corner, really slow, early on power to get the best exit as possible. This is the fastest corner of the track, 150 kph. And we're gonna end up here in the start-finish line again. That was a lap of the Hong Kong E-Prix.
So that's what they're up against, but let's see how our drivers fared as we relive race 1 and what was a sensational start to the season.
Last year's championship I lost by 2 points, so every single point is important.
I don't think you can win the championship at race 1, but you can maybe lose it.
It's phenomenal, the fact that we only race on street circuits. It adds a certain wow factor to the championship.
It's been a long year. We worked really hard in the off-season. The team did an amazing job. We've started the right way over here. We started in pole position.
Jerry, can you hear me?
Radio check, Nelson. Radio check?
Oh, okay, radio check.
Radio check. Loud and clear.
Copy.
Season 3 of Formula E, very good solid start from the front row men. And they've almost all made it through. That's Ma. loses his nose ring and gets clattered from behind.
And this is where the experience counts of Nick Heidfeld. Just going to hold him out here. Can Rosenquist go through too?
Doors open.
The two rookies here, side by side.
Lopez on the left, and Frost picks up another spot. Degrassi knocked the rear wing off his car.
Past two, can he get three in one corner?
Oh, look at this.
Wide here.
Yes, Adam Carroll's the meat in the sandwich. Sandberg up to second place. Degrassi is in, who knows? He must be absolutely living now.
Oh, big slide from Rosenquist. Did he keep going?
No.
PK the leader.
Is the race leader. He's gone straight down, and he's not alone.
It's Lopez. They're in the pits.
And a minimum pit stop time that they must not go under.
But they've got to watch as they leave because they converge on each other in that central lane.
Box, 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 box.
Copy, box, copy.
Energy, Sam, energy.
Energy is fine, energy is fine.
Sandberg can't get gears, can't get drive. That's cost him a lap.
And Buemi is up to second. Frains has got a pit, so Buemi is leading the race.
And there's your winner. Buemi takes the checkered flag.
Bravo, bravo. Welcome.
Yes!
Great job, fantastic. Well done.
So the party starts now. Sebastian Buemi starts his title defence perfectly. Lucas Degrassi in second. Nick Heidfeld completes the podium for Mahindra Racing. Sandberg must feel robbed. 13th place for him.
Time now to catch our breath and just enough time to make a cup of tea. But don't go anywhere because after the break there's plenty more to come. We meet the man to beat. We pit the drivers against gamers in the virtual world of racing. And the cat is back. We're here in the electric hotbed of Hong Kong for the FIA Formula E Season 3. And every week we'll be giving you the chance to get to know some of these drivers a little bit better. So let's start with the champion.
Sebastian Buemi is the FIA Formula E champion of Season 2.
Well, I think we've done a good job, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be winning both championships, but we've done also some mistakes, and clearly as a driver I feel like I could have done better, extract a little bit more points out of the whole championship. So this year hopefully we'll focus on those details and we'll be able to score a few more points. The car just feels a bit better, it's more together. We've improved a little bit on the area where we felt we were lacking, grip or potential last year, and it looks better, but obviously it's not a big change because the regulations are very stable compared to last year.
The checkered flag falls, Frost wins, Renault are the champions.
He's a great guy. I was very happy for him with what happened in London. He won both races. Hopefully we'll be able to fight, at the front and have an opportunity to fight for the championship. That's really what we are aiming for.
And if you want to know more about Sebastian Buemi or any of the drivers and teams, make sure you connect with them on social media. Formula E prides itself on being interactive with the fans, so please write into us too with your thoughts and comments at FIA Formula E. As well as getting to know the drivers, it's also important to understand what makes these all-electric cars so unique. So every now and then we'll get a bit techie to explain in more detail, but where better to start than with the battery. In Formula E, the drivers have to manage their car's energy and power. The cars have a maximum allowance of 28 kilowatt hours of energy in their battery, effectively the fuel, and equivalent of 300 laptops. We see that in the graphics as 100% charge, and as they use this energy up, we see the battery level decrease. If they fail to manage their energy correctly and hit 0%, the car will slow down over 5 seconds and come to a standstill. They are in effect out of fuel. Drivers also have to manage their power. Full throttle during the race is 170 kilowatts, but in qualifying or with fan boost, full throttle is 200. The drivers have 2 cars to use during the race. When they've used all the energy up in their first car, they then have to make a pit stop where they have to change cars. The team must strap them in safely and get them back into the race as soon as possible. But they must be careful not to be too fast, as there's a minimum time they must spend in the pit lane. Unique to Formula E is Fan Boost. Fans get the chance to vote for their favourite driver on their phone, tablet or computer. Voting stops 6 minutes into the race, then the winning drivers are announced just a few minutes later. Those drivers with Fan Boost can use it when they get into their second car, and it gives them access to a one-time additional 100 kilojoules of energy. It's often used by the driver to make an overtaking move stick. In Formula E, sometimes it's the fans who can really make the difference. Now you know. As for the teams providing the cars, well, it's going to be a very competitive season. Among them, Richard Branson's DS Virgin Racing team have announced a new lineup to improve on last season's third-place finish. Triple World Touring Car champ Jose Maria Lopez joining Sam Bird. One of their former drivers, Jean-Eric Verne, now lines up for newcomers to Cheetah, following their takeover from Aguri. Talking of newcomers, Germany's Maro Engel has joined Venturi, who continue to be backed by film star Leonardo DiCaprio. But they are all chasing 2-time champions Renault Edam, led by 4-time F1 champion Alain Prost. But the off-season news that got racing fans really excited was iconic British car manufacturer Jaguar announcing they'd be joining the grid for season 3.
Panasonic Jaguar Racing is a real opportunity to extend our complete development activity and really see electric vehicles working at their extremes, a real return to racing and active development out there on the track.
To have Jaguar choose Formula E, what does that say about the championship and the direction of it? You look at the history of that brand throughout the last 100 years or so, it's bloody impressive.
Altogether, an incredible driver lineup with lots of experience, multiple champions in their own right. We have Adam Carroll from Northern Ireland, we have Mitch Evans from New Zealand, and Hoping Tung from China.
For them to give me the opportunity is absolutely fantastic, and I'll give it everything I've got.
It's a proud moment for me because every driver's dream is to be part of a works team.
Car manufacturers understand they're going to have an EV, an electric vehicle component to their lineup, whether that's hybrid or fully electric car. They're going to have to learn more about it. The best way to do that is racing.
There's a lot of learnings that will come from Formula E that will feed into Jaguar Land Rover. We've got a number of their engineers embedded into the project with us, and already we're seeing some fantastic results of that partnership.
We're here to win, but we've got a lot of ground to cover. We need some race experience under our belt, but we'll get there.
Jaguar's got such a strong history in motorsport. To be part of it is very, very special.
Jaguar have come back in to racing and they chose Formula E.
So that's Jaguar on board, and now with Mercedes, Audi and BMW announcing their intention to develop their own engines for Formula E, the sport is going to become even more exciting.
Hey, 走りやん。せやけどフロントウィングとアンダーステアも気になるわ。Wouldn't you agree?
You might think that when they're not behind the wheel, the drivers are just chilling out and relaxing. Not in Formula E. No, in fact, the E-racing is a key part of the race weekend. It's where the drivers and the fans get to go head-to-head on the virtual racetrack of the host city. And don't be fooled, the drivers take it very seriously. The E-race competitor wins their seat on race day by setting the fastest lap of the competition. The winner is then invited up on stage to race the stars of the sport. So let's see how our Hong Kong winner got on.
And some aggressive overtaking away from the line, and already the hairpin claims the first 4 cars. And there is a massive pileup. So Lucas de Grassi, number 1 car, with the lead of the race. Kobe underneath the de Grassi car, which then rights itself. Mitch Evans with the lead for Jaguar. Little smile there from Pechito Lopez as he helps Rosenquist a little offline. This young man, for the first time, getting a chance to race on a street circuit against professional drivers. Mitch Evans now 8 seconds clear out of the final corner, accelerating to the checkered flag. It is victory for Mitch Evans. And our young star, Kobe, he has his first Formula E street race. In 10 years, will any of these drivers be seeing him on a grid somewhere?
In what other sport do you get to be so up close and personal with your sporting heroes? As you can see, gaming and racing goes hand in hand. And throughout the season, there'll be tons of opportunities for spectators and drivers to go head to head. And who knows, maybe next time it could be you. In the meantime, to brush up on your overtaking skills, we've had a look at the latest games out there on the market.
Gaming and racing go hand in hand, and as technology develops, there are more and more exciting and fun games for you to perfect your overtaking on. So we decided to come and check out the best games out there at the moment. The Forza series has a strong legacy. The 6th entry into the series doesn't disappoint. Great handling, stunning visuals, and a rock-solid multiplayer mode have been hallmarks of the series. But with the addition of wet weather and night racing, along with the endlessly customizable garage of over 450 cars, it really is a petrolhead's dream. Project Cars takes its simulation seriously. Here, realism is the order of the day. The impressive handling and attention to detail make it a compelling, authentic experience. Whether it's in open wheel, touring, or GT cars, there's a varied career mode. But its greatest strength lies in its mind-boggling amount of options that allow you to fine-tune your experience no end. Trackmania Turbo might be arcadey and simple, but it's amazingly compelling. It's racing distilled down to its core components, but it's the online features, not the racing, that really sets it apart. Design and build your own tracks and share them with the community, or compete with up to 100 players at once in the time trials. It's undeniably compulsive. Every list should have its maverick, and this is ours. It's fair to say that Rocket League isn't really a true racing game, but we think it deserves its place because where else can you manically smash a car around an arena and score goals? With its deep single-player campaign, licensed tracks, and an ever-expanding roster of cars, Real Racing 3 is a great realistic racer with some fabulous visuals. What's especially impressive is that it manages to do all of this on your mobile phone. Now you can race anyone, anywhere, anytime. Next time we'll be delving into the future and giving you a rundown of the games we think you should be looking out for.
From the virtual racing to the real deal. It's been an electric start to Formula E Season 3, with the drivers and teams laying down an early marker of what's to come over the next 10 months. Join us next time when we'll have more from the stunning Hong Kong. But until then, goodbye for now.